Welcome to another installment of Tag Me In, where the triple threat brain trust tag over the good, the bad, and everything in between in the world of professional wrestling. I, of course, am the unofficially official Lip Dizzle, joined with none other than the world famous, less than stealthy runaway himself, the runaway Scooter. So ho.
What's happening, everybody? It's happening. You know what I'm saying? Moments like this, when the world doesn't want you to be great, you gotta say, fuck it. Tell them that you're great and show them why you're great. Gotta let them know.
Matter of fact, we got just who wants a little story time with Lip Dizzle, baby?
Let's do some story time with Lip Dizzle.
So let me tell you, this is why Scoot said the universe don't want us to be great. So we were ready to start this whole recap of AEW. And normally, I'll send out the link so we can actually stream this shit. Here's the thing. I sent out the link. From this point and out, maybe like in less than an hour ago. And I'm sitting here just waiting like, all right, 10 minutes pass, and I send the link again. So I'm like, that's weird. Another 10 minutes passed by. I'm like, okay, all right, let me go ahead and walk the dog real quick. So I did that. And I came back. Still, nothing happened. So then I get a text from Jaeger. It says, yo, I'm ready to record this. All right. And I'm like, wait, so the link didn't send. Scoop chimed in. Nope, didn't get anything. So I sent the link again. I'm like, yo, get the link this time? Nope. Tried it again. Nope. Tried typing the link in. And that's stupid to have to type a whole link in. I digress. Still didn't get it. I had to go through further measures to get this link out so they can get in the shit, which is crazy. Which is fucking crazy.
But this lets you know we're fucking great in here. So we still make it work and to give you this content.
Yeah, y'all gonna get this recap. Y'all got to get these opinions. But ladies, I know you don't see Jaeger here. It's okay. It's okay. Because you know what you come here for. You come here for his completely spontaneous run-ins. Yeah. Whenever something pop off.
I mean, honestly, at this point, Jaeger is almost like Malachi Black at this point. The lights just go dark, and then boom, Jaeger appears, and that would have been serendipitous if he would have appeared right then and there.
I know, right?
Like that would have been mad. Amazing. But yeah, he's just he appears when he want to appear. You know, he's never late, he's never early, he's always right on time when he needs to be.
I like that.
Yeah.
But to just to make them feel better. Ladies of the IWC, the heartthrob of your community, Jaeger, bombastic, so fantastic. He ain't early. He ain't late. He's just fashionably whenever you want him there. So,
whenever you want him there.
There you go. So, matter of fact, I'll do this for y'all just this one time. Jaeger, though. For y'all.
For the ladies out there. Jaeger, though.
But yeah. So, wait, before we even jump into this Arthur Ashe Stadium AEW Dynamite Scoop, is there anything on the docket with the scoops?
So, we're going to just go through it all because, if y'all been keeping up with us, we kind of changed our format of how we do NXT. So, some of the NXT news and WWE news might get mixed up this, but
you see the shit? Hold on. Did you see?
Yes.
You see?
Yes. Yes. All the mans, all the Kenny mans. Yes. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be seeing, but yes.
See, like I just told y'all, he's not late, he's not early, he's right on time.
You know what it was? It's the moment we said Jaeger, though, and they were like, "Oh shit, we want him on the screen," and then he popped the fuck up.
We said for the ladies out there, Jaeger though, and then boom.
You know, guys, I just gotta tell you, a lot of things change once you get your girlfriend pregnant. like your name, your address, the kind of car you drive. No, I'm kidding. No, but nobody's pregnant. Loki, what have you done? No.
You know what? You know that scene in Star Wars where he was like, it's like I just heard the collective cries of a million people.
Yeah.
You can just hear the collective hearts just break of like a million people.
No.
So luckily,
it's okay.
Follow that up by saying that.
I'm gonna reconstruct that. Gonna just glue them, duct tape them. You know, fix them back together. Ain't nobody pregnant. Ain't no girlfriends. We good.
A lot of hearts would have just shattered.
No, I can't.
True.
Can't be having that.
Heartthrob for real.
DMs is open though. Anyway,
there you go.
But yes, Grand Metalik apparently requested his release.
Oh.
Huh.
Yeah.
I want to say I don't think I heard that.
I don't believe I did.
Did they grant it though?
Not. It hasn't been announced yet. The story just came out was Tuesday.
Okay.
Tuesday, I think.
Huh.
So I guess we got to see what that happens. There are new women tag team champions in WWE, Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH.
Yeah.
I'm just reporting news, keeping people updated.
Remember when Rhea Ripley was like a threat for the women's championship?
Look,
they actually held the belt.
And Rhea lost the belts. They went on to do other things. But hey, we did get the New Day versus Bloodline that opened up Raw, but unfortunately ended in a fuck finish, which was the weirdest finish ever to me. Because it started off as a very great match, and then there was a scene where Xavier Woods and Roman Reigns were the legal people. The Usos and and Kofi were outside. Bobby Lashley comes through, beats the shit out of all four men, and the ref doesn't do anything. Which led to Woods turning around, Roman Reigns getting the spear, boom, 1, 2, 3. And it was like the ref is watching Bobby Lashley beating the shit out of the Usos and the New Day. And not a single disqualification happens. But then they let Roman Reigns in the Bloodline get the 1, 2, 3. And then it prompted to later on them doing a triple threat match. Bobby Lashley versus Roman Reigns versus Big E, which led to Roman Reigns winning that match as well.
No surprise.
So, yeah.
Very confused.
So, Roman got 2 W's on Raw Monday. So, yeah.
After he invaded the show. Huh.
I sent the link to y'all, and I don't know if y'all read it, but Bryan Danielson sent a letter. Well, he wrote a story basically called, thank you, WWE. And it was a very classy letter, and you could tell it was genuine. You could
very
tell
classy, too.
Super classy.
You could tell it was nothing that was like, I'm only doing this for the look, or no, you could tell he genuinely meant everything he said, because I even like the whole, hey, I know y'all were a fan of me in WWE, and I'm not even necessarily asking y'all to follow me to AEW, but if you do, hey, I love you even more, but I still love you regardless,
Yeah.
So it was a great letter. And then, once again, he's another person who, like he said, I wish the people could see Vince McMahon the way I see Vince McMahon. So he's down the line of a lot of people who never has beef with Vince.
Yeah, I mean,
everything else.
Look, Bryan Danielson is going to be a shoo-in for WWE Hall of Fame, even though he's not there.
Absolutely.
Has to do.
Now, on the whole of the whole deal with everybody that praises Vince McMahon himself is not a bad person. I believe that he's genuinely caring of the people that he employs. I get that. But when you're out of touch, that's a different story. When you're out of touch of your own business model, that's a whole different thing. As a person, I have no fucking issue with Vince McMahon at all.
I can agree.
But it's like if you take, it's a reason why you have people that have cutoff points within employment. You think about sports. You don't see, a 50, 60, 70-year-old person playing football or fighting in the UFC or, so on and so forth. It's because there's a cutoff point, because at a certain point, you just can't do certain things. And if you're somebody who has been doing something for so long and you don't keep up with the times and you're out of touch with pop culture, with reading the room in terms of what people like, and you're only focused on a stubborn deal where it's like, okay, this worked for me at this point in time, so it's going to continue to work because it's what got me here. What got you to the dance isn't always is what's going to keep you there. And that's what we mean by being out of touch. But yeah, I do believe that, people like Bryan Danielson, people like Christian, people like Edge, people like Triple H in certain cases, people like an Adam Cole. I understand that they have good things to say about Vince. I don't think there's anything bad about him. That I think everything they say is true in that sense. But as a business sense, right now, absolutely, completely out of touch. So yeah.
Couple of more stories before we get to Dynamite. They did officially announce today that starting January 5th, Dynamite is moving to TBS, but Rampage is going to stay on TNT for the moment.
What is funny, though, is that we joked about there being a TBS title or switching the TNT title to the TBS title, but now it looks like the women could potentially have the TBS title.
Now,
so
I could see them moving.
Interesting move, personally, because the problem is you're basically going to have almost TBS and TNT competing with each other, because the basketball is going to be on one, AEW is going to be on the other at the same time. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah,
when it plays out. Jaeger, you sent us an interesting story. If you want to read more into it with the whole Andrew Yang, and he wants to help.
Yeah. So Andrew Yang is apparently looking to get a better treatment of the WWE talent as far as human relations and payment and all that are concerned. I'm not gonna lie, I did kind of gloss over it because these are things that have been needed to be touched on.
Yes,
but and I mean, these have been issues that we've been wanting to see, like, get, what's the word I'm looking for? These are issues that have been needing to be addressed for a while now, because like other corporations, WWE likes to think of their employees as contracted hires or contract labor rather than actual employees. So I'm glad to see that somebody, and even better that it's a bigger name person like Andrew Yang, can bring some spotlight to that. Sorry, I'm not touching up too much on it. It's just something that's been well known.
I mean, Andrew Yang been on WWE's ass for the past year now, so
yeah,
he basically is taking the Riley Freeman approach for my Boondocks fan. You gonna pay what you owe. So,
dear Santa.
So that's basically what's happening, and kind of piggyback off of it a little bit. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense that I'm pretty sure there's mad money being left on the table because of these contracts and the way it's designed It's mad money being left on the table. You talking about they don't have? You talking about the company doesn't have to pay for travel. They don't have to pay for hotels unless they're going overseas or whatever. They're considered independent contractors, but they can't work in no other companies or take any indie bookings. They had to stop Twitches and YouTubes and cameos and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm pretty sure there's mad money being left on the table due to the fact of all of these rules WWE sets.
Now, one thing that I do hope that he does, because one thing I don't want this to do is I don't want this to look like it's a vendetta against Vince McMahon from Andrew Yang. I would hope that this is genuine and he's starting here in WWE because it is the conglomerate. It is the one that is the most glaring in terms of money and in terms of restrictions for professional wrestlers. But I would hope that he looks into other companies that could potentially be doing the same thing and hope to unionize the other professional wrestlers that aren't having the same leeway, you know. But yeah, so if this is just a start to a bigger thing, all for it. But if this is just a vendetta against Vince McMahon because of the money they made previously over the past couple years, then I would say check yourself before you get too far and end up making yourself look like the bad guy in the end. But I do support this move,
wrecking yourself.
Yeah. I was trying to steer away from being cliche and saying that, but I'm glad that you backdoor with that shit, though.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But yeah.
So fellas, how do y'all feel that essentially Owen Hart is all elite?
All fucking for it. And it makes fucking sense.
Big ups.
It makes sense because now, you know, the only place you could have potentially thought about putting Owen Hart in as far as like Hall of Fame, video games, merchandise, whatever, would be WWE because that's where he would be more synonymous and more familiarized as far as the community. But AEW makes sense.
I was say now for the people out there who might not know what we're talking about, essentially AEW is partnering up with the Owen Hart Foundation, and from the partnership, they're basically working close with the foundation, of course, and they're going to hold a Owen Hart tournament, which the winner will get a cup. And
called the Owen. Called the Owen.
Yeah. And Owen Hart could appear in the AEW game if they choose to put him in there. So
the first legend in AEW video game. It's crazy.
So essentially, Owen Hart is all elite.
I'd like to see that.
I love every bit of this.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, before we get into Dynamite, do we want to discuss it here or do we want to make it a special hot tag of the plane ride from hell?
No, we're actually I want to make this a hot tag for a number of reasons.
So stick to that, people.
Because remember what I said about keeping that same energy. Look, we're gonna keep that same energy in terms of this situation. And I think it's better for us. I mean, we'll probably do it this week or next week, but a lot of stuff is still coming out. So now we can kind of see how things kind of play out before we actually give like a full take on both the story itself and the aftermath of it.
Yes.
So, but yeah, definitely.
So with that being said, take it away, Mr. Dizzle.
AEW with these bold ass fucking moves. They don't waste any fucking time.
Nah.
Honestly, because you kind of just said it and it jogs my memory every time I hear it bold. AEW is doing exactly what was his name? Cotton. No, not Cotton. Pepper Brooks. That's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if we play with that. AEW keeps pulling the bold strategy. And honestly, AEW is the prime example of the people who they're at the dice table or they at the blackjack table, and AEW is like hit me on 18 or hit me on 19. It's like, oh my god, like but it keeps working out in their favor.
And here's what I like about it, because we're so used to being fed certain things to where we're conditioned to see something where it's like if we get a main event worthy match in the very beginning of a show, we know it's going to be some fuck shit that happens, and then we can look forward to something else leading up to it down the line as far as within that same show. With AEW and this match specifically, because again, this match in itself, excuse my language, it's like being with that one hot chick and you just know that you're about to get it in, and you get that nice little hand job, nice little boob grab, and then she says, oh, I gotta go. This match was a full-on tease because we got a fantastic fucking match, but we know for a damn fact that this isn't all that they had. Like, we already know we're about to get a 6, 7, 8-star match out of these two. Mm-hmm. But what they did was they said, hey, dip your finger in there and taste this mix real quick before we make this cake. And it's the best fucking ingredient ever. But you tasted the ingredients, but you haven't tasted that whole cake yet. Mm-hmm. That cake is in the oven right now. You've tasted that mix already, and it is baking. You got to wait for that shit to bake so you can have a nice slice of that piece of cake.
That's such a great analogy for all of it.
It is a great analogy. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
and they ended this shit.
What? Before you continue, Lip Dizzle.
Thank you. They ended this shit on a fucking time limit, knowing full well that they were probably gonna piss people off with not getting a definitive finish, but also having the respect of all the true pro wrestling fans to understand, okay, we're building towards something. We gave you this. We didn't make you wait till a pay-per-view to get this in a main event status. We said, you know what? We're going to give you this nice little exhibition, end it here, send you home happy with what you're going to get later on. So that way, when you do get that payoff, you are going to get one hell of a fucking match. Guaranteed. Can't fucking wait. On top of that, Jaeger, I know you'll love this, and they almost got me. I literally thought they were gonna go commercial free, but they only had one fucking commercial break with picture in picture.
Yep. The only thing that really happened was some outside the ring stuff that I mean, it's kind of typical of whatever. That's honestly typical of like a commercial break piece.
Yeah.
But to do that whole 30 minutes and only do one commercial break, the only downside is that as soon as I heard them say this is going to be a 30-minute limit match, I was like, oh, we're going to a draw. Because it was for the belt, right?
No,
it wasn't.
It wasn't. Okay, then.
But the funny part about it was, it wasn't until I think the announce team said something, I totally forgot about the time limit.
Same here. Like, I didn't until I heard that faint announcer say something about the time, but I never. It was so faint that I couldn't even make it out until the announcers had said it's like 45 seconds.
What was it? I remember Justin Roberts saying like 30 minutes or 30-minute time limit, and then as I'm watching the match, it completely left my mind. I'm like, oh, they're gonna
exactly.
And then as soon as he like you said, he like barely muttered 1 minute remaining, and then like I don't know if it was Schiavone or freaking JR going like, oh yeah, they only got 45 seconds. I was like, oh no, they're doing this.
And that they did.
Oh yes. Man, it was such a beautiful match. And to start the show with it, of all things, that like CM Punk said later on, like how do you follow that?
Yeah, and we'll definitely get into that promo too, because it was right after this shit. But I mean, just to see the look on Danielson's face before the match even started. And then the moment that the collar and elbow tie-up happened, everybody erupted. You get a pop from a collar and elbow tie-up?
Fam. And you know what, too? You know what's going to always help Danielson? Was always going to help Danielson, especially if he has these grueling matches, is that I guess the way his body is built, his chest area is always going to look just so fucked up. And it's going to always make it seem like he's going to have these knockout, drag-out brawls because he's going to always look so just battered.
And here's the thing that I like about AEW bringing in credible people, because again, with Kenny, this is not a knock on the rest of the AEW roster, but with Kenny actually having quote unquote competition coming in to help him step his game up, because he doesn't have an Okada in AEW to have these just burnout fucking matches. To, you know, he doesn't have a Kota Ibushi to come in and say, hey, let's do this. Now he has a CM Punk who's getting back on the wheel. Now he has a Bryan Danielson who is ready to just say, fuck everybody. I just want to have a good fucking match, to help push him to be back at that best bout machine, Kenny Omega. And last night, we saw it. And I was like, okay, this is the reason why I appreciate Kenny Omega. And that's not to say that I completely forgot about what he was capable of. It's just the fact that when we're enthralled in storylines and here and there, and the way that AEW books things, sometimes it gets he's been doing enough to get by, in my opinion. That's not a knock. It's just the fact that we haven't had that 5 to 7 star competition to go up against Kenny to have these breakout matches like this. And
you're not going to see G1 Kenny against Jungle Boy.
Correct.
No knock on Jungle Man, but he's just, I don't want to say he's not there yet, but I mean he's still young. Like, Kenny can't go that whole extra distance like he does against Okada, like he would have gone against Jungle Boy, or like he has. It's like you just said, it's very refreshing. It's very, like, this is when I'm okay with, like, as people on the internet and trolls want to say, ex-WWE guys, this is when I'm okay with these people coming in. Give me more of this.
I'm glad you said that, because I was going to touch on that too, and because that kind of changed my opinion on a lot of things where they talk about, you know, bringing in a lot of these old guys is taken away from the young guys, and it's like, no, looking at that match makes more sense as to why we have these seasoned vets in here now, to show them, okay, this is what a quote unquote 5-star match looks like. Take notes. You know? So it's a nice, smart, and very tactful move by Tony Khan. And I think this is probably done by design to show everybody, like, he's like, I'm not going to tell you all my plans. I'm just going to let you see for yourself. And I think this is one of those things. So for anybody who doubted why these people are here, CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, etc., this is why. Developmental within developmental.
Yeah.
So
all the while getting their in-ring experience in Dark and Elevation.
In the best way possible. So and the reason, and this is the reason why it's also pretty dope for this shit, because most people would think, because they have a time limit, that they book themselves into some type of corner. And I think it's the complete opposite, because where you have WWE, and it's not a knock on WWE, just the way that they do things. Whereas with WWE, they book a lot of fuck finishes to save everybody within the match. The time limit does a lot more in that process, because it's like, well, those are the rules. We can't really get mad at it, because nobody, beat him at the finish. Nobody made it to the time limit. Nobody did what they're supposed to do within that time frame. And on top of that, they don't rely too much on that time limit because you see a lot of finishes. I think the most notable ones that we've seen as far as time limit goes have been Cody and Darby, have been and I think at this point, we get
we had Cody
Omega
and Darby
and Brian
and now
Bryan Danielson and Omega. And I think there may have been one more, but again, that's what I'm talking about. It's not like we can count on two hands. What is, we can really only count on one hand how many times the time limit has really run out. So and I appreciate that. So AEW's doing it right, and they're doing it very fucking smart, and it makes sense because we can look at each match and say, oh, okay, you know what? That makes sense. Can't get mad at it. I can be mad that it didn't finish the way I wanted it to, but they're following the rules at least, outside of, the refs having their own discretion, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Props to the commentary, like just building up the little hype. Like, oh, if Danielson only had like 60 more seconds, I'm pretty sure Kenny Omega would be tapping out. Blah blah blah. Like, just adding the extra, hype, like getting people to get more excited. Like, man, I want to see this again. I want to see this go like a whole way. Like, give it a 60-minute time limit. See how they do. There's one troll I saw on the internet said, yeah, but Shawn Michaels and Cena went like a full hour, blah, blah, blah. Like, that may be true. At the same time, there were plenty of like break moments for them throughout that whole match.
And just for the record, the Cena versus Shawn Michaels trilogy, I loved.
Oh, yeah. No, it was great.
Especially 2 and 3. 2 and 3, fan-fucking-tastic. But, my opinion. But yeah, the only blemish, and I'm glad you brought that up too, Jaeger, the only blemish I hated is that once they did on commentary talk about, if you only had 60 seconds, he put the LaBelle lock in, but it was so awkward when he was putting in because everything was pretty much already done. It's not like he was still like in go mode. There was a rest point, and then he went to it. And then, of course, when you had Bucks and Cole come out, and I did like the super kick though on Danielson, because it was the perfect moment to prompt Jurassic Express and Christian to come out. Everything just worked seamlessly. Outside of that one blemish, everything else was fucking perfect.
I'm a little indifferent with that part. The whole triple super kick. Just a little bit. Like, I think why it happened. Don't get me wrong. But I'm a little indifferent with it.
I mean, the super click had to get a super kick,
That is true.
But I'm just ready for these trios belts to show up. So,
to be perfectly honest with you, I think I would have liked it better if when the Elite came out to pull, Danielson off of Kenny, and the Elite had Kenny, and Danielson was in the corner by his own. I would have liked it if Jurassic Express and Christian would have came out right after, so that way that moment wouldn't have happened. It could have been just that standoff of, hey, you stay on your side with your boy, we'll stay on our side with our boy. Let it be.
True enough.
I would have liked also that, but like I said, I get it.
For those of you watching, I know you just see me put the graphic up for this match. This isn't us starting. This is pretty much the end of us talking about this match. Just go back a little bit and then watch it, because it was my fault. I completely forgot. So just a heads up. I don't want you to get mad. Be like, oh shit, they only said this about the match. No, there's more before I even put the graphic up. So just, keep that in mind.
I'll figure that.
But yeah, the way that Omega looked after this match was props to Danielson and just props to the match as a whole. Also, he wore the motherfucking shoes with the Pepto suit.
All right, I'm out.
Hey, look, crossing shows though, Malcolm Bivens is looking pretty sweet in that suede suit.
Look, I'm not. Look, I gave him props already.
Who said that?
I'm not doing it again. But either way, outside of that, fan-fucking-tastic match. I am all in, no pun intended, for this full match because I already know that they're not going to have any time limit in the next match. They may even do an Iron Man match. Something's going to happen to where we actually get.
I just don't want this to interfere with Hangman versus Kenny.
Okay,
you know what?
and
Honestly,
thank you.
Wait. Honestly,
Go ahead.
I think at this point, it might.
Okay, because I was gonna, and I'm glad you brought it up because I was gonna wait for us to talk about this, but I think it's right now is the best time because again, the way this match went, it made the show a bit shorter, so we kind of have the time for it. I don't know if I'm worried or just kind of okay with what could potentially happen with Hangman because I was all for the fact that, okay, we get Hangman back, but the way that everything is going, I think they may keep Hangman off TV for a while and have him make some comeback later on. Like, I think the plans that they had could be completely just done with right now.
One of the biggest issues I'm going to have with the whole Hangman situation, and this is just from my lens, y'all can agree or disagree, but from my lens, okay, so since Hangman was out, he fought Christian Cage.
Yeah.
And Christian Cage, he's fought Danielson. They fought to a draw. We don't know what's going to happen. The problem is we're talking Christian Cage and we're talking Danielson. Are they going to, if Hangman is the one that's going to fight Kenny at Full Gear, how are they going to make Hangman look more credible than Danielson and Brian Danielson
Cage.
and Cage, since we just saw Kenny pin Hangman a couple of months ago? So since we just saw Kenny pin Hangman with the One Wing Angel, it would have been different if they would have hit the what they call it, the BTE V trigger. It would have been different if they would have hit the triple V trigger and beat Hangman that way. But Hangman beat him with the One Wing Angel. So now, how are they going to book it to where Hangman looks more credible than he did when they lost that 10-man elimination?
By having him kick out of the One-Winged Angel.
I mean, of course they're going to have him kick out, but you have to make it look more believable now. Since
you got to build it up. Yeah,
since Hangman technically lost to the One Wing Angel, you got to make it look more believable. And how are they going to make Hangman look more believable to take the belt from Kenny if it's not Christian Cage or potentially Danielson? So how are they going to book it to where Hangman is more credible than those two?
So I have to beat them.
Okay. Here's how this can work. And somebody can probably do it better, but this is the best way that it comes off in my head. The way that it can work at Full Gear. Because there's still time. Hangman comes back. Kenny's already had his match with Bryan Danielson. So if he allows this whole time limit draw to affect him throughout the process, and he has that match with Hangman, loses to Hangman, and starts to doubt himself based on everything that's happened, and realizes that he has to get back to where he was before. So you get him focusing more on himself. Of course, he loses to Hangman. After all this, focuses more on himself, leaves the Elite. So that breaks up the Elite to where you have that whole dissension going on. You take the Elite out of the equation completely as a stable to bring in the Pinnacle as the top heel stable. Kenny gets back into his motherfucking bag as the best bout machine. And then you book that full match with him and Bryan Danielson. No title, just them in a pure ass fucking professional wrestling match. to where now you have the title not even in the equation because Hangman has that, and now you have an extra match on the fucking card that is gonna basically overtake the entire fucking show because that's the match of the fucking night.
Okay.
I like it.
So I guess the other question, if one of you two could think, how do they shoe in Page, since technically Page lost his contendership?
You make them. Let's see here. We got a few weeks. Well, we got like 4 weeks till Full Gear, right?
Well, 4 to 6, I think. Because we got all of October, and I think it's the second week in November, I think, when Full Gear is. I could be wrong. But I think we got maybe about 4 to 6 weeks until Full Gear.
So if I'm booking it to where we need to have Hangman looking strong, you make him debut either this week on Rampage or next week on, or I'm sorry, come out of hiding or whatever you want to call it. Either next week on this week on Rampage or next week on Dynamite / Rampage.
Mm-hmm.
Have him actually have him on both either Darker Elevation and on Dynamite / Rampage, having matches with legitimate contenders, not like throwaways or squash matches, as you want to call it. Show that, and like, things that are relevant, like things that are like maybe more story driven, maybe go through the gauntlet of Omega, if you want to call it that. Like have him go up against Jungle Man, have him go up against Christian Cage, have him go maybe not up against Daniel Bryan, because then that would make Bryan Danielson look weaker.
We knew what you meant.
Yeah. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The guy with the very heartwarming WWE message. Yeah, you could have him go through that gauntlet of sorts. And that would solidify him like, oh, well, if he's beating these people that Kenny's beat, then, maybe he's got it back. Maybe he has a shot.
Well, let
So
me
that way,
another question.
No, what's up?
Do y'all think they just save Hangman to possibly next year?
I did think about that. I thought about that in the process.
It's a possibility. Or they do another Winter is Coming.
Or that too.
The only problem is that they would have to have put that title on somebody else in the between time, because I don't see Kenny. So? Yeah, I don't see Kenny holding that title that long like that. I don't see him holding all the way through next year. Only because if we think about it right now, we think about Omega, we think about Britt Baker, and we think about Miro. Miro's not losing the title anytime soon. Baker's not losing that title anytime soon. The only singles title that
rivalry.
Yeah, the only singles title that really stands a chance of being lost right now to somebody else is Omega's, because it was already in the cards for Hangman.
True.
The only other title I can see being lost anytime soon would probably be the tag titles. Nothing against the Lucha Bros, but I mean, if they set it up right, it could be FTR, it could be Santana and Ortiz.
And they're about to bounce those around, mainly because, again, trio titles coming into play, another tag title type championship, and this is going to be this is the rollout title that's going to start, these short title reigns just for like the next possible year at this point. So yeah, there's a part of me that honestly does believe that Hangman is coming back to take that title off of Omega, because I just don't see them putting that title on Danielson right now. I really do think that they're going to push that match for Danielson and Omega as a non-title match, just for the sake of just wrestling.
Okay.
And Hangman is going to be the next person outside of Lucha Bros that starts to roll out these quick title reigns. Hangman's going to have that title for some months, but I do feel that he's going to be on the losing end of a heel in the form of MJF at this point now. So
yeah,
it's just one of those things, man. I like what they're doing because it's very unpredictable, but I hate the fact that I don't know what the fuck is going on with Hangman.
Yes.
Because you fucked me, Hangman. You fucked me at motherfucking All Out. I don't appreciate that.
Wait. So this is the thing, right? I understand your anger and frustrations with that, but in retrospect, that
my
was
guy,
a
that's
shot
so
in
out
the
of left.
dark, my guy.
I was saying, my guy, that was so out of left field. Like,
Look, man.
The thing was the fact that we asked you. You said up until Christian was in the ring, you thought they were still.
Yeah, you're right. And look, even when Christian wasn't, even when the bell rang, there was a part of me that was like, okay, something's gonna happen. Look, get it. But look, here's the thing.
over here, like Charlie Day with the damn cigarette. Like, it's gonna happen. Like right here, Hangman's gonna jump Christian Cage right now.
Like you really was on that point hard.
It's only because you only have so long for that whole deal of Hangman kicking out of the One Wing Angel for it to keep its luster. Because at a certain point, if the past Full Gear, that luster is going to be gone, mainly because of the fact that we've already got a taste of what Danielson and Omega is going to look like.
Yes.
So at this point, right now, you got to strike while the iron is hot, because honestly, after Full Gear, whatever they fucking do, everybody's going to be looking forward to this Omega and Danielson 7-8 star match.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not even going to fucking, like, Hangman is not even going to be a fucking blip on the radar at this point. They're honestly going to have to wait till next year, and they're going to have to just omit this whole fucking kicking out of the One Wing Angel thing.
It's going to be a afterthought after too long.
Completely.
They have until this year ends. I would give them that timeline. Yeah. If they're gonna do a Hangman thing, like prior to maybe Full Gear.
Watch them wait till winter is coming to do that shit.
Or something like that.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Because
like last episode on TNT.
Because what? Cody took a good couple months off when he had the kiddo. Who's to say that's not part of like family leave for like all employees?
I mean, I'm cool with it.
Let's say that Hangman's a special case. He might get some EVP treatment, even though he's not an EVP, because he's like the second person after Jericho to get signed to AEW.
But then too, at this point in time, he's not really needed.
That's true.
There's enough talent there to where it's not like, all right, guys, we really need Hangman back. So. Oh no. But yeah, it's not like Hangman is like absolutely needed. So
it's sad to say that.
It is. And then it's not meant to be in a negative way.
No, not at all.
There's enough talent to hold it down to where, Hangman not being there. Yeah, it is something you don't see, but at the same time, it's not necessarily end of the world that Hangman isn't there.
I'll say it has to be before the new year, because odds are likely that we're going to get Kevin Steen.
Oh, yeah.
And once we get Kevin Steen at AEW, that's going to have a whole nother tidal wave of like Hangman Who kind of syndrome.
Hell, you talking about Kevin Steen, we could potentially be getting Johnny Gargano.
What, in AEW?
Yeah, Kevin Steen and Johnny Gargano could be.
Oh, if we get Gargano in AEW.
So.
And it's really sad because he's so beloved at NXT, or at least to the old NXT.
So.
Oh, okay. Elite ends up finishing, and then we get Mount Rushmore as a face stable on AEW.
Ooh, give it to me.
There's no way they're gonna be faces.
Because look, it's okay because it's a different thing. So what they do after Kenny leaves, the Elite, Good Brothers are gone.
No. It's going to be serendipitous because Steen is going to come in. Exactly. Steen is going to come in, and then they're going to stomp Kenny's ass out. Kenny's going to become the face.
Okay. Wait. So then, what about the? So we're gonna have two top heel factions.
Wasn't technically the Pinnacle and Inner Circle the two top heel factions at the moment when that happened?
I mean,
I don't think
that was a weird fucking like.
So
that was a weird thing.
I mean, they eventually went face,
I don't think
the
Pinnacle is going to reach that pinnacle. I think where the
or that Scootical
is it. That too. I think what's going to happen is the way the Pinnacle is being booked now and the way the Inner Circle is being booked now, it's going to stay that way. It's hard to, you got to think, as of right now, Cole came in as a heel. The Young Bucks made this switch. It makes more sense for them three to turn on Kenny when Kenny loses the belt. It makes sense for them three to turn on Kenny, and Steen comes in. Boom, Mount Rushmore. Now Kenny is like off of TV for like 2-3 months.
And
like
then you get the match with him and Danielson.
Yeah.
Just respect to pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm. That way he wouldn't be a heel anymore. He wouldn't necessarily be a face. He would just be a man. And that way, eventually, he can start to enact his revenge.
He'd just be a man.
So,
he's Hercules when they gave him the juice.
So, you know,
Fantasy Book Central. Okay, so and that's perfect timing because if he loses that belt within like at Full Gear, that's what, November, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you give him that whole time where he goes off of TV for like just a month and a half, and then Steen's contract would be up at WWE in January, either December or January.
It said January.
So he can. Okay, so that's perfect.
So Steen can pop. I'm Steen can pop back up just like how Cole did. You know.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Okay, cool. Well, then, talking about heel turns, CM Punk is going to turn heel after this fucking Team Taz feud.
You think so?
Look,
he might do it against Hobbs.
Do you think it's going to be a heel turn, or is it going to be more of
a tweener?
More of a I'm not going to take no shit turn.
I think he's going to do it gradually. Like he's going to do the I'm not going to take no shit, but then eventually just go heel.
Okay.
Look, here's what I think is going on.
He's dropping the hints, man.
Yeah, exactly. And I think
he's definitely doing that.
And I'm so glad we got that impassioned Punk on his promo because I was like, oh yeah, this is what I missed. So instead, it's funny how he got impassioned about how much he's there for the fans. Because what I think is going to happen, Jaeger, you can say the whole Charlie Day shit all fucking day because I don't care.
Go ahead,
because
do it again, Go ahead.
I'm waiting for him to start talking. Check
this out. The whole Team Taz things happens. He's doing it for the fans. He keeps talking about it. But that straight edge shit starts happening again. And then we get the truest booking of the straight edge society within AEW.
Oh, so you
heel turn
back to SES?
So in some way, shape, or form. I'm assuming WWE has that shit like trademark, so he's gonna do something different. But look, it's gonna happen because it makes the most sense. How else do you turn people against Punk? He starts criticizing drugs and alcohol.
I know how they do it.
But no. Hold on. The straight edge shit. Sorry to interrupt you, Scoot.
No, go ahead.
The straight edge shit is clearly the Bucks thing, though.
True.
So So are you trying to tell me that somehow the Bucks might be joining CM Punk on this?
This is how they're going to turn CM Punk heel. And once again, Jaeger, you can get ready to do your Charlie Day thing.
Yeah.
I think what's going to happen is he's going to fight Team Taz.
Mm-hmm.
And to get Punk to certifiably turn heel and to make people dislike him, oh boy.
The boy?
He has that match with Jungle Boy.
Okay.
I thought you were talking
because you froze when that shit happened. I was like, wait, that's a fucking cliffhanger. The fuck?
No. I thought
with Jungle Boy, and he hits Jungle Boy with like 7 GTSs and shit. Then it's like, wait,
what the fuck?
Whoa, what is happening here? Wait, whoa, stop this.
You want to make it more malicious?
He beats Shadow.
What, dude, on Marco stunt?
No.
He kicks Shadow Luchasaurus. Then it's like, oh, this ain't the CM Punk who just debuted in this company. This is a different man here.
No. I think if we're gonna do some Charlie Day shit, I think we keep it within Team Taz, and he gets brutal on Hobbs, but for some fucking reason, Taz decides to give Hook's debut match against CM Punk. and then Punk just obliterates that poor dude.
Well, the only reason why I don't want to say he's going to turn with Team Taz because Team Taz is already seen as heels. So Punk just beat the shit out of heels. He just beating up on heels. That's why
I mean,
like Jungle Boy
that's why I say Hook, because he's a kid and he ain't had any matches.
Nobody's gonna boo CM Punk for beating the shit out of Hook.
They're gonna cheer the fuck out of that.
I mean, they might cheer out of that first couple GTSs, but like after, like you said, Scoot, 7 of them, everyone's gonna be like, yeah, stop. He's already. You're like, stop. He's already dead.
That'll be the first time that you get the unanimous chant of "Let him die."
God!
Now, since Mr. Deasley here has mentioned the Straight Edge Society, I guess we can read Charlie Day some shit. I might have to make an amendment to what I said last week. Maybe some of the members of the Straight Edge Society will be former Dark Order members.
Huh. 5 and 10 finally take off their masks. 5 and 10 finally take off their masks, and that's what it'll be.
Yo. Okay.
Because on
we don't need people.
Oh.
Maybe since if they do decide to resurrect the Straight Edge Society, apparently didn't the Dark Order have a match against each other on Dark?
They've been having matches against each other. On Dark this week though, it was shit. Where's my book? Sorry, everybody. Jaeger After Dark will be airing right after this. But shit, where was it? I had this. Shit. But oh, here we go. It was Evil Uno and Cole Cabana versus 5 and 10, and fucking Uno unmasked 5.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like he tried to say it was an accident or whatever, but didn't mean to do it. But like 5 was pissed, and like he saw him like in the ring, like all covered up, like a luchador, but just like hiding his face completely. Like it was like he eventually gets his mask back on, and like for the spoiler, he roll up pins Uno. And he tries to help Uno back up, but Uno just rolls out the ring and like walks out while everybody else is like trying to figure out what the fuck is going on with Dark Order. But it's getting interesting. I really just at 2 times I want the slow burn to end, but at the same time I like that they're drawing it out just so we could get fucking Wyndham or some like defection to Black. Ooh, I like how I said that.
I like that too.
But shit, if we get a straight edge society, I would love to see them go there.
So
it makes sense, man.
I didn't even think about a straight edge society 2.0.
I'm telling you, because it's like, again, there's only so many ways you can have the fans actually view Punk as a heel, and what better way than to criticize people for their vices?
Yep.
Because again, him beating up on somebody, they're gonna take that as, oh shit, all right, cool. This is fun. This is funny. I like this. It's only gonna last for so long as we can cheer for that other person next week or whatever. But with this shit though,
we start being all self-righteous and shit.
Mm-hmm. And everybody hates a self-righteous motherfucker. That's universal.
That is universal.
So, but yeah, I know we didn't really get into Punk's promo because it really wasn't that important. What was important was the nice little breadcrumbs that we got for a potential resurgence of what made Punk immensely popular within WWE. So I look forward to his match with Hobbs tomorrow. But other than that, yeah, I'm just ready to see where this shit goes.
Yeah.
But one thing I'm happy to see fucking go and be done with is this shit with MJF and Brian Pillman Jr. if it is completely over.
You mean the King of Zero Repercussions?
Yo, I'm gonna say this right now.
Right. Zero.
Other than that great statement from Jaeger, but to be perfectly honest with you, this match was trash.
Yes, it was.
It was not great.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna really say about it.
I mean, I'll be a little fair here. Like, were we gonna view any match as great after seeing Kenny and Bryan Danielson?
No, but you can still have things be credible enough. We'll get into it later, but
it could have been one of those situations where Pillman could at least got some type of revenge on MJF, and because of Wardlow, MJF won or nothing. But it was like MJF flat out fucking won. Like,
Yeah.
Brian Pillman Jr. had at least 3 weeks to fix his issues within this whole feud. He comes out, entrance, everything, and he sits there and stands for the match to be ready. He didn't run into the ring to go and attack him. You had that chance to do that. You didn't. You treated this like there was a regular match. This doesn't seem like a blood feud to me. So it's like, to me, it's like, if you don't care enough to make this feel like it means something, then I shouldn't care enough to what you basically conditioned me not to care about this fucking match.
Yes.
Yeah. This should have been sliding through the bottom ropes, popping up, jumping MJF, letting the ref decide when the hell the bell was going to get rung, and going from there. There should have been like Irish whips into the barricade. This should have been maybe dropping MJF on the barricade, maybe reenacting a Bubba Ray my balls situation. I don't know.
Damn near I'm gonna get disqualified because I'm not paying attention to this damn ref because I'm seeing red.
This should have been 4 count, and then Brian Pillman shoves the ref off. Yeah. This should have been enraged Brian Pillman Jr., and he missed a layup. I'll just say it as plainly as that.
Wide open layup. He fumbled in the end zone.
Yes.
Basically. So, but yeah, that was that fucking match. But you know what's crazy is that we get to back this shit because we get from one thing that we didn't give a shit about to another thing we didn't give a shit about, but actually had a silver lining with the ending of it.
Yeah.
I was just happy that Malachi won.
Same. Because they really made this shit feel like Cody was about to come in this shit and actually win this fucking match. Because
Brandy came back, and it was like, oh no.
I was like, oh no. Yeah, exactly.
I looked at Ashley. I was like, damn, Cody gonna win.
And even during the match, they made it seem like he was gonna take this out of nowhere.
Now,
so
to give a shout out to Authors of Wrestling, he brought up an interesting point with that match. They on the commentary team called it corrupting Black Miss.
I did see that.
Yeah.
And the way Cody was acting when it hit him after the match and shit, it was pretty weird. I was like, that's odd. Like, well, he's really playing this shit up. So, but at the same time, maybe he could have been toying with the fans when he was like, I'll retire before I turn heel and shit.
Yeah, because maybe that miss might corrupt Mr. Rhodes here. I mean, hell, the damn the Nightmare family is like falling apart and shit. So why not make this be the way to go heel? And plus, I don't know if y'all follow Cody on Instagram and things like that. He's been posting a lot of Stardust pictures and shit. Like I think he's on Instagram or Twitter. He's been posting a few Stardust pictures.
That's funny. If he's like, yeah, I'll never go heel, but I never said Stardust wouldn't come back and go heel or some iteration of Stardust.
Exactly.
This motherfucker. God damn you, Cody.
And then, Orn Anderson messing up the spot,
That was funny. Like the way the fans reacted, like, oh shit, he fell.
It was just, I don't know. Funny part about it was this would have been the perfect match for Thea to debut.
Oh, stop telling me these things. It would have.
Brandy kind of, getting in the ring, flicking off and telling Malachi, fuck you and all of that. This would have been beautiful for Thea to have debut, but, unfortunately.
You know what? It would have been. Now I'm just thinking about Malachi's entrance. It would have been amazing with like Thea doing a From Dusk Till Dawn thing with like a python.
I'm telling you, Malachi's entrance is just
maybe not so much
amazing.
of the bikini or something, but just like how Thea does. But anyway,
that entrance is just perfection.
It is. You know what else is perfection though? Miro. His motherfucking promos.
Why?
Stop hitting the wife.
He's not gonna stop hitting the wife at all.
No. I mean, like, stop hitting the wife and not bringing her out. Like, shit. Let CJ come to the ring.
But you know what though? Before I get to the point, at this point, it's better if she don't, because we know who he's talking about.
Fair.
It's just an ominous thing.
So at this point, just keep running with the gag, just like this. But I was telling my brother today, I said, the issue I had with WWE? This is the same Rusev and Aleister Black that was in the company.
Yes.
Yeah.
The same ones. This is the same Aleister Black and the same Rusev.
Booking is different. It's like when you handcuff a talent to the point to where it's like you basically gimp them versus a company who respects their talent and gives them full range because they trust their creativity and says, you know what? If you're going to get over, it's going to be because you did something, not because we force you to do X, Y, Z. And clearly, everything that Miro has, everything up to this point has made complete sense. They've talked about his weakness, and in his promo, he even brings it up. He talks to Sammy Guevara. He says because of this, points to his neck. You think that I have a weakness, or you think that you can beat me? It's like, but my God fixed. It's like in 2012 I broke my neck, but my God fixed me, and my wife helped put me back together. It's like, and because of them, my God demands pain, and my wife demands pleasure, and sometimes pain.
Oh my God! How can you not love Miro? Like, how can you not love it?
And
now at one point I was kind of thinking, could they pull the trigger with Sammy beating Miro? And I was like, nah, they shouldn't.
They shouldn't. They'll make it a good match for sure. Because again, Miro does this thing where he does happen to. I mean, he made Fuego look good. So
Yeah,
you know,
2-3 matches.
mm-hmm. And so he'll make Sammy look good in this instance as well. Now, could Sammy take this title? Possibly. Do I think it's going to happen? Not a fucking chance. But yeah, but it's going to be a good fucking match. What's this on Dynamite next week?
Yes.
So yeah.
Speaking of, kudos to those people who had to sit in that arena for like 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, word?
Well, you know, they was taping Rampage after they take Dynamite.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
And
shit.
they also take Dark.
Damn for shit. Yeah,
So yeah,
They do Dark or Elevate. No. They don't do Dark right now because Dark is in Universal Studios at the moment.
Okay,
yeah, that's true.
Elevation.
So yeah, so you're talking about Elevation, Dynamite,
An hour.
and then Rampage.
6 hours, yeah.
So who boy?
Who boy indeed. Now of course, other members of the Pinnacle were on this show as well, because we had FTR versus Sting and Darby Allin.
Shouts out to FTR in the NWO black and white. Shouts out
I was gonna say.
Shouts out to New Day for rocking the Wolf Pack.
Yeah.
The most notable thing about this match was their attire, which I don't know if that's a call. I don't know if that's to a call to New Day and just like a whole like comrade deal, or that's a or no, matter of fact, no, I think commentary talked because I think it was like more of a ploy against Sting.
Yeah.
Because so that made sense. But I like the thing.
I still think of it as like a call to New Day too.
Yeah,
could be. Now I did look at the trunks, and it's funny because they're still playing up the whole what the R can potentially stand for, because it said forever the R, and it had the asterisks. So it never said what it was for. So I like that they're still continuing that shit.
So I'm gonna be perfectly honest with y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really care for this match either.
Neither did I.
Okay.
I mean, it had all the right players, but I was just not invested.
Yeah, I wasn't invested.
Yeah, it was the same. Now, of course, the gear, absolutely, but I just feel like to me, like I get that FTR came in after the match with Shawn Spears and Darby Allin, but I feel there was more story and more feud worthy stuff between Darby and Shawn Spears than with FTR and Darby and Sting. This felt like it was just kind of just put together. Now, if they would have invested more into it and had this like next week with a few story bits on this show, then yeah, I'd be like, cool. But because it just felt so rushed and out of place, I was like, yeah, cool. But I mean, what does it really do?
You could say that this is like the Pinnacle attacking Darby and Sting, because
true.
Like this could be them as a whole. I mean, you could get shit Wardlow, or like maybe now MJF will call out Darby Allin.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who knows what they'll do next week on Dynamite with Darby. I don't know.
I think to piggyback off what you said, and that actually adds more to it. I think had the Pinnacle come out as a whole and actually added on to what FTR did last week, it actually made this apparent that it was a feud between Sting and Darby against the Pinnacle, I would have been cool. Because I would have been like, okay, this made up for the match. Because I would have said, well, the match was cool, but this was really meant for this shit that happened. Because then you would have had direction with the fucking Pinnacle on this shit. And then you would have had an adversary for Darby Allin and Sting to actually overcome. So, yeah. Now, if they make up for it next week, cool. But as of right now, just give me Darby and Sean Spears some more.
Well, remember, we're all supposed to get Tully and Sting at some point.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how I feel about that.
You sounded so disappointed.
I did.
You said, oh, yeah, like that's supposed to happen.
You sounded so disappointed.
I mean, look, Tully and Sting, cool, but I mean, like right now, I mean, and it's mainly because of Tully's in. Tully isn't really like the type to get he screams manager, like just manager to me now. Sting, at least you can look at it and be like, okay, you know what? He can still go somewhat. He can give me something. Tully, I'm like, yo, Sting's about to carry this whole fucking match, and it's gonna be a 2-minute one and done, and that's it. And that's all it should be at this point, unless Tully's been training his ass off. So no. Over here sound like Consuela from Family Guy.
No.
But a yes moment though. Shout out to Bryan Danielson. The AEW Women's Championship match between Britt Baker defending her title against Ruby Soho, the number 1 contender. The only problem about this is that we knew the outcome.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the only problem. Had they booked this like later on, maybe at Full Gear, I probably would have been like, okay, let's see where this goes because there's potential there. But to have this on a Dynamite, wait, hold on. Have we had a title change on Dynamite outside of the TNT title and the tag title?
Moxley.
Winner. Yeah, that's like Kenny Moxley. Winner is coming.
No, yeah, that was what I don't count that as Dynamite. I count that as Winner is coming in a special event.
Okay. No, well, technically Cody and Brody.
But
that's still TNT title.
Then
I expect that. So that's a. I don't think we'll start seeing like women's titles at least until like that TBS title is introduced. TBS title is introduced that we'll start seeing more frequent title changes on regular television other than like pay-per-views and shit.
Part of me wants to think that the TNT title is going to be defended only on TNT, aka Rampage, and that this TBS title and the trios titles will be something you see more on TV, like on Dynamite, on TBS.
You have a point to this because Miro has only been defending that belt on Rampage and pay-per-views as of late.
Oh, it's like they're conditioning everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, I'm still cool with because at least we know that there's something to look forward to on like Rampage, like as far as conditioning us to be like, okay, well, you know what? We're going to get a title match. So if you want to see a title match, especially with Miro or up-and-coming superstars, Rampage is the place to be. And then with the TBS title, you want to see these women knock shit out? Watch the shit on TBS.
Mm-hmm.
But I know I text you guys this in the message. But yeah, a secondary women's title makes so much sense because of the fact that we've seen in a lot of promotions tag titles for women, but never a intercontinental-esque title within any fucking promotion. Because for women, because they're always vying for like the top women's prize. But this also shows, hey, we believe in our women's division. We're going to show you what we have coming up outside of what is in the main. And that's another thing because they've been treating a lot of these women, whereas we've seen like Jaeger watches Elevation and Dark. A lot of women are showcased on those shows to the point to where it's like, yo, how come they don't have a secondary title? Because it would make more sense.
I'd love to see a secondary title for the women, especially in the regard that you have so many people like that are on Dynamite and Dark Elevation, most prominently right now being Anna Jay since she came back, Ty Conti. They're really featuring the Bunny and Penelope Ford right now. Statlander just took a loss, but she could still be in that running. Especially because they put these like matches on Dynamite as well, where you're just like, if you're not somebody who's keeping up with the storylines, you're just like, well, okay, so why are we getting this random women's match?
True.
But I think it would draw a nicer parallel to have it be like how we initially thought the NWA title for Dynamite was going to be like.
Very true.
Like initially we saw this NWA women's title with Serena Deeb and before that Thunder Rosa. We thought this was going to be something that we saw get passed around via AEW. We don't so much hear about it anymore.
No.
True.
And I would love to see Layla Hirsch be maybe our inaugural women's secondary title holder. Especially because they're not giving her recent accolades enough attention.
No.
I like it. I fucking like it. And I like this match. I mean, of course, for Ruby Soho, but more so for Britt Baker. Because and it's what I figured was going to happen is that this was going to help boost Britt Baker's stock.
Oh yeah,
because of her being in the ring with somebody that helped her within the industry, and I knew that this is what this was going to be. Because again, I still see Ruby Soho winning this championship at some point, but with the introduction of this TBS or with the potential introduction of this TBS title for the women. I feel that she's going to be more enthralled on that end before she takes that title, which I think based on how everything happened, especially with the Women's Casino Battle Royal, I feel like she may end up being the one that feuds with Thunder Rosa to potentially take that title off of Thunder Rosa after Thunder Rosa takes the title off of Britt Baker. So
I'm following your breadcrumbs.
Off of Thunder Rosa.
Who?
Huh?
I think if Thunder Rosa takes the belt off of Britt, I think Jade takes the belt off of Thunder Rosa.
Ooh.
And maybe Ruby might potentially take the belt off of Jade at some point.
So you think Jade will be ready by that time?
Well, at some point you got to start putting Jade in there because Jade is too much of a powerhouse and nobody's built like her right now. And you can't have
outside of fucking Camille.
But even Jade looks more intimidating than Camille, though.
That's true.
If you want to,
at some point, you can't have a woman who looks like that just waiting in the shadows. At some point, she has to, do something.
The only person size-wise that's been on TV that I could see going against Jade right now would be like Jamie Hayter.
Yeah.
Or Kylie King.
Yeah.
Kylie is what, 6 foot?
Kylie King is like 6 foot as well.
But yeah, I think if Thunder Rosa takes the belt off of Britt, I think Jade will take the belt off of Thunder Rosa.
Okay. Oof. This is 2022 is going to be an interesting year for AEW.
Yes, it will be.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you think that the lengthy title runs are going to come to an end.
Yeah, for just for a bit, because I mean, right now, every title right now outside of the tag titles at this point in time have lengthy title runs. So
isn't the Bucks, aren't they the ones that had like the longest title run with those tag titles?
it's between them and Hangman and Omega.
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know if they passed them up yet, which I can actually see just in case. Because that is actually interesting. Because they it's possible that they could have, but hell, there's never any telling.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's see,
They were over 200 days, the Bucks. They might have been over 250.
so if we look at title reigns, yeah, Bucks are at 302, and Page and Omega are at 228. So yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
so they
damn.
passed it.
Damn. Yeah, the only one's in triple digits because everybody else is in double. Crazy. Fucking crazy.
Crazy that FTR only had the belts for like a short amount of time.
I think it was 34 days if I remember after looking at it.
Jeez.
Yeah, crazy. Hold on, just to double check, make sure. No, FTR is 63.
Okay.
63 days. Yeah.
I mean, that's an extra month, but damn.
All right.
So, and that's crazy because I'm looking at this shit now and they say FTW Championship, but they have in parentheses unsanctioned.
Yeah, Brian
Well,
Cage had that for a minute.
that he did. To be precise, 377 days. So if it was a sanctioned title, he would probably be the longest reigning champion in AEW. Period. I believe. Yep, because longest reigning days is AEW Championship is Kenny Omega at 285, and Women's Championship
should be Sheeta,
Yep.
right?
Sheeta's longest reigning, but she's still under Brian Cage's unsanctioned. She's at 372. So she's still close, but with it being sanctioned, she actually is the longest reigning AEW champion.
I know Sheeta had it damn near throughout the whole pandemic.
Yeah, she had it for over a year.
Rather.
I think Kenny will definitely. Well, no, there's no I think on this, but Kenny will definitely break 300 days. Maybe break the year. Who knows? Or lose it at the year mark.
295 right now. So yeah. If we're talking about to full gear, yeah. If he doesn't lose that full gear, he's definitely passing that shit up for sure. So I think even if he makes the full gear, I think he's still going to be over that.
I mean, he could lose it at the year mark at Winter is Coming, assuming that they do a Winter is Coming.
I think they will. But yeah, but to harp back on the main event, Ruby Soho lost. Lockjaw. She actually tapped out.
But she won with the bars like on last Rampage.
She did.
Yeah. Yeah.
She called her just like every other female superstar from that previous company. I forgot the first two, but the last one that dropped my jaw was and banging some dude in the back.
Yes. It was like, oh no.
I was like, you just called out Adam Cole. And Britt was completely fine. She was like, yeah, I am.
But she had a nice little well, no, because I think she had the fired line, and I think then Ruby Soho came back with yeah. Oh, yeah, bars for days. Shout out to Max Caster.
Hey,
but
apparently he had a miniature rap battle against Little Uzi Vert.
What?
Would you even count that as a rap battle then?
No, not really.
No disrespect to Uzi Vert. I just don't think you got bars like that, homie. But
I mean,
Sorry.
he's a pop rapper, but yeah.
But hey, who am I? Who am I to say something like that?
Just guys on the internet,
Just guys on the internet who can
Guys
spit
on the
better than
internet.
Lil Uzi Vert. But that's just me.
Well, say I can't rap for shit, but yeah.
I can toot my own horn because I know this. I know this already. That's a definitive fact that I can actually stand behind, claim all day.
Oh.
I know this. But that's a conversation for another time on another platform.
Yeah, I'm just a funny guy.
But with that being said, that in itself was AEW Dynamite at Arthur
Ashe.
Arthur Ashe. You see, sitting there talking about fucking bars, and I flip up and trip over my own fucking words. Karma's a bitch. Universe has been on my ass all fucking day, apparently. So, hey, what better way to end it off? But I will leave it to my brothers in arms here. Guys, do you have any final thoughts on this episode of Dynamite? Scoot?
Scoot is mute.
Scoot is mute, but I'll give it. I'll wait. Hold on.
Oh, there you go.
Damn.
I'm sorry.
He had to run to the Scootical real quick.
Yeah, I'm saying, I had to, I'm saying it takes a while to come, up, but y'all get it.
He got that Omni-Man speed.
Exactly. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I enjoyed AEW. AEW is hitting a stride for me where it's definitely becoming more good than bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely becoming one of those things to where I kind of have to see what they're doing next, So
yes.
And the good thing about AEW, it keeps you guessing. So
that it does.
Kudos to all Elite Wrestling. Kudos.
I'm excited for part 2 of this Danielson Omega feud. I don't know when we're getting it, but whenever it comes, I'm just gonna be there going. Only to see that 7-star match. Britt, Dr. Baker, our favorite sponsor and friend of the show. Great match. I'm sorry that you're gonna probably lose to Thunder Rosa at some point, but I mean, it'll be a great match when it happens. Hopefully, y'all bring back some of that hardcoreness that y'all did in that unsanctioned match. MJF, find a new kid to bully. Darby and Sting. Let's see if you run through the rest of the Pinnacle. Oh shit, that could be your new kid to bully, MJF. And then Cody and Punk. Looking forward to the heel turns.
At this point, yeah.
How about you, Dizzle?
Look, honestly, you could have just gave me a full show of Omega and Danielson match.
I bet they would have gone.
I would have taken a 2-hour or hour and a half long Omega and Danielson match.
With a promo from Miro at some point.
With a promo matter of fact, with a 30-minute promo from Miro.
God
damn. That a 30-minute promo. Shit. That's hijacking the show at this point.
That's fine, because he would have sat there and just gave us complete gems about how he's gonna dominate everybody on the roster and how he's gonna dominate his wife in the hotel room. It's
would have gone off name by name. He goes through a few. He's like, oh, and then my hot wife, who I'm gonna put into.
He would have He would have had just
make
like
her
how
scream
Jericho
game
had,
over.
How Jericho had the printer paper of all the 1,001 moves.
Yes.
Oh god.
He would have basically had a list of everything he would do to anybody on the roster, and how he would do the same thing sexually to his wife on every fucking line. and everybody would have ate it up. I would have sat for that whole fucking list. Period.
At that point, it's a stand-up comedy show.
Do you see?
Right.
And you can't teach that.
Oh God.
But
no,
honestly,
don't bring that guy.
Now, of course, for those of you who don't know, Dynamite did not beat Raw in the 18 to 49 demographic this week.
Raw stepping up their game.
Not surprising because Raw's throwing everything. They're throwing everything on there. I mean, they really went to get the best part of SmackDown and potentially the best part of WWE and threw them on that show. So,
guys, draft next Friday. Who boy? Only person that's gonna stay on Raw on SmackDown is gonna be Roman Reigns at this point.
Basically,
everybody up for grabs.
Everybody's gonna be up for grabs. So I think because my brother and I was kind of talking about it a little bit. We think they're gonna keep Charlotte on Raw. Sasha might switch. Bianca might switch. And a few others, because it's gonna be interesting.
Is Sasha back now?
Not yet, but she'll probably be back for the draft.
How convenient. But I mean, you could always have Roman and Big E switch.
You could.
That's true. I mean, that's something I can see them pulling if they really if this really is in AEW retaliation thing. I can see that because even now, and I'm looking at it now,
I mean, AEW's
they only
Raw.
beat them by basically a 0.01 because Dynamite had 0.48 and Raw had 0.49.
Jesus.
So yeah, that's even with Roman on that's still very fucking close. So yeah, but we'll definitely have to see what the fuck happens. I'm excited heavily for AEW and what they're doing, and I'm highly invested and very intrigued into the potential of what could potentially happen because of the fact that we just don't fucking know what direction they're going to take everything, and I love that. So, but one thing that we can control and what we do know is where the fuck these people watching this can find us at. So, Scoot, let these mother effers know where they can find you.
You know, I mean, Jaeger said it earlier, you know what I'm saying? I'm at the Scoutical. And if for those who don't know, who might be new to this, when you think you at the pinnacle, look up. Then, that's where you find the Scoutical. I'm there.
It's there.
Every now and then it takes me a while to go up and down, up and down. I had to kind of take a little break from the diamond mines, since we kind of figuring out what's happening over there. So, what I'm saying, I have to cross brand both of these. So,
I mean,
diamond mine is still open. Still open.
I had a 5-on-1 match for the cruiserweight title. I mean,
I'm still taking you know what I'm saying? I'm still taking a little, just a small break. As you can see, but you can find me. It's been scrolling at the bottom the whole episode, There it is right there. Bam. You know what I'm saying? At TheScooterRay, IG, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok. You can also find me with the Less Than Stealthy Ninjas. That's my other faction.
Shout out to the mother effing ninjas.
You know what I'm saying? That's my other faction. Shouts out to Boss, Aranya, and Xerxes, gaming on Twitch. YouTube channel got video clips for you to watch, and then got a podcast, another one, Ninja Banter. You can also catch that podcast on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, and other places.
Yeah, buddy.
Everywhere. I'm saying, what other podcaster who's in multiple factions?
Wears so many hats.
Wears so many hats. You know
True.
what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure there's some out there, but you get it. But for the ladies out there, for the ladies out there, for the ladies who get flustered when that third screen pops up,
Mm-hmm.
They need to find Mr. Jaeger Bombastic either in real life or on the internet. Don't give out your address, but where can they find you?
It's gonna be 7:30. No, I'm kidding. I mean, ladies, if you want to find yourself right here, then you can just hop in the DMs. But if you don't want to hop in the DMs, you're a little shy, you little like you want to like get to know me a little bit first. You don't want to do coffee just yet. Go out to eat some sushi or something. You can always hit me in the Instagram. It's coming around. But you can hit me in the Instagram. You can hit me in the TikTok. Yep. No, oh, he didn't flip it back. Okay.
No, he haven't flipped it back yet.
Oh.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
There's other stuff going on, so I'm trying to like.
No. You good? You good?
Oh, there it is. Right here.
It's right there. It's right there.
Bam.
See,
right
like
there.
Like we said earlier, he's not late. He's not early. He's always right on time.
Yeah. Right where you want him to be.
Came up
when
right
you want him to be.
Ooh. Yes. Anyway, Instagram. If you really want to get in the DMs, if you want to game with me, Xbox, PlayStation, it's all the same name. It's all right there. TikTok as well. Twitter, if you want to let your thumbs do the work. Hey, just holler. But if I haven't gotten around to you, or if you've just been waiting for that message and you're feeling a little upset about it,
don't be upset.
Don't. I'll get there. We'll have that time.
Patience.
But until then, before then, if you really want something to like pick you up, something to lift your spirits a little bit, I can really only point you to one direction besides Loki on where you can get that. That guy.
I guess that is true. There is positivity in the world. Messages all over the place. Lifestyle 1UP. Get that daily dose of positivity on all your podcast listening platforms. Hell, even on YouTube. Not only that, the TikTok, the IGs, the Twitters, all that good shit. But you want to shoot the shit though? Lip Deasley. IG, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, etc. I know, we plugged Less Than Stealthy Ninjas, we plugged Planet Nico, we plugged T.A.G, we plugged Scoot, we plugged Jaeger. I have to do a shameless plug for the Buffet Boys.
Hey, shouts out to Prime. Though.
Prime example, J-Vaz. Look,
the Buffet Boys is a great name.
It's a great name.
We spread the love over here because this is part of the family. I don't care if even if it's not your cup of tea, still check it out because it may end up being your cup of tea.
Could make your buffet.
One thing I always say on here, not on here, but one thing I say just in life in general, in terms of the people that I deem as family. If I eat, we all eat. So if they're doing something, then I got to make sure that I plug it because for those of you who don't know, I'm going to put you in the know so that way you do know. And if you do know, then you can go and go check out the show for the Buffet Boys. So go do that shit.
Because if you don't know, now you know.
Now you know. Shout out to Hit Row. See how that shit came full circle? I love that. Thank you, Jaeger. I appreciate that. Jaeger's been on with the back door all fucking show.
Yes.
But
it's one of my favorite spots. I mean, what?
But before this gets too graphic and too Jaeger after darkish,
right?
Oh yeah, you can see me there too.
You can see him there too. I'll let you all know to rate this shit, whether you loved it or hate it. Bam, bam, thumbs up, thumbs down. Don't forget to rate it. Hit that notification bell for all the updates and notifications of when we drop shit on whether it's a Jaeger After Dark / Elevation, whether it's a Tag Me In, Hot Tag, Scoot with the Scoop, Scoot with the updates every month, whether it's a tier list, etc., etc., etc. You want to be in the know to check this shit out.
Yeah, you do.
But most importantly, please add yourself to the mother effing squad, the tag army, the tag team. Mother effing subscribe. But until then, first and foremost, at Too Sweet My Bros with a good one right there. Bada, 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 bam!
Yeah.
I bid you all adieu. And until next time, until you hear our immaculate voices and see these handsome faces, you beautiful mother effers, tag the fucketh out.